Okay, boys and girls, we are going to start our poster for our science showcase. So go to Google Classroom and open the poster directions. All right, so the goal of this is to create a visual display of your showcase project. And so we're really gonna work on showing instead of telling. So anytime we can use a photo or a graphic or graphic organizer to inform, we're gonna do that. We wanna use the principles of design. Later on, we'll have another refresher on the principles of design. We wanna be consistent with font size, style, poster colors. We wanna make it easy to read from a distance. And it needs to read left to right and top to bottom. So these are what we need to include. We're gonna have kind of 3 sections: designing, testing, and evaluating. Title something catchy that makes you or helps you think of your topic. I'm gonna get your name on there, your experiment question, and then your independent, dependent variables, and then your controlled variables. And then photos of your experiment and your conclusion will go in the testing stage. In the conclusion, remember we have claim, evidence, and reasoning. Evidence will be, we're going to have our graphs in our data table, so a visual way of showing our evidence. And then our reasoning is going to be the science, and we're going to do this more in bullet points. Then last, we're going to have an evaluating section. And we're going to answer, is it a fair test? Was it accurate data? What would you do differently? So planning our poster. So we need to select the colors that we're going to use, and the background's going to be white. We want to remember the goal is to communicate clearly. So often students get carried away, especially in a new program, and want to use every color, but we actually know that's ineffective because it's confusing on what you're trying to pull attention to. So we're going to do a quick little presentation on selecting your colors. And I want you to just start for a second by thinking about what colors are related to your topic. Okay, so our goal is you want somebody to be like walking by, look over at your poster, see it from across the room, and want to come over and check it out. Okay, once they're there, we want to communicate information clearly. So would you say that this meets that goal? No. Okay, so if we're looking at background color, or excuse me, if we're looking at colors, we want to select 2 or 3 colors. Actually, 2 or 3 on top of the background colors, okay? And we want to pick, there's two color groups that we can look at, either analogous colors, those are ones next to each other on the color wheel. So here's an example of that. You see this orange, orange yellow, and then a lighter orange yellow. You could also pick the purples through the blue, or the greens and the yellow. So if we go now to complementary colors, are ones that are opposite on the color wheel. So green is opposite red, blue is opposite purple. Blue is opposite orange. So these are really colors that make each other stand out. So would this be an example of complementary or analogous? Analogous, remember, is next to each other. Complementary is across. So this would be analogous. Complementary or analogous? Well, red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel, so this would be complementary. Complementary or analogous. Okay, purple versus orange, yellow. These are opposite each other on the color wheel, and so they're complementary. Green and red, again, opposite. These are going to be a little bit different than how we're going to set up our science fair posters. And this is actually a really good example of Wiggly Worms is a great title to like just get the audience's water-resistant bookcase. This is something different. Egg-tastic experiment. So just something that grabs your reader. So then, now this is a project we did for engineering fair, but this is more what ours is going to look like. This is Lucid Press. So here, so we've got blues next to each other on the color wheel, so that's analogous, and then we've got that yellow orange in here, which is a cross, so complementary. They used a combo of both. Complementary or analogous. This one really isn't either, but these colors really stand out. I wanted to put this one in here because it's just cool. He did a really cool job of organizing it and picking his fonts. This again is the same program. So how does type of material affect melting time of an ice cube? So when you're selecting your color palette, think about what your question is. Are there colors that you normally would think about that relate to your question? So if I think about ice cube, what colors do you think of? Well, I think of blues. So maybe I'd pick blues next to each other on the color wheel. How does type of potting soil used in planting affect plant heat or height? Sorry. So again, here, I think plants and green. Then how does the amount of water affect the size of a vortex in a bottle cyclone? So cyclone is like a storm. So I don't know, maybe some grays and blacks with maybe, I don't know, something bold like red. Okay, so think about your question and what colors will work with that. Okay, so let's go back to our poster here. So I want you to take a second and just put in your colors that you're going to use, and you can change this later. Make sure that you match your poster, your graphs. So when you make your graphs, you need to make sure that those match with your color scheme. So I don't want to have pick oranges, yellows, reds, and then have my graphs be blue and purple. Okay, so go ahead and lock your choice in here. Let's red, orange, yellow. I can't spell orange. Yellow. Okay, so those are my colors. Okay, or maybe light orange, red, whatever. Okay, and then now this we'll come back to here in a bit. But now we're gonna go in and we're gonna start a poster. So what you're gonna need to do, oh, I'm in the wrong one here, hold on. So what you're gonna need to do is go in and up here, if you've never used Lucid Press, you're gonna find it here. So go down to more, scroll down, and then down here you should find Lucid Press. If it's not there, then you have used it before. And you're gonna come over to new, and then go to more. I'm not sure if I just clicked the right thing there. Yes, Lucid Press. Okay, so it takes a minute, comes up like this. And we're gonna go blank, create. And then first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and we're gonna just change the size. So we're gonna go down here and we're gonna go to custom. Okay, and here I'm gonna pick 23.54 and 16. And I want to put it on portrait. Oh, let me look at my. Okay, I lied. Portrait, and sorry, width has to be 16, and then height has to be 23 and 54 hundredths. I know that sounds strange, but what it's going to do is it's going to actually be two A3 size papers. So it'll be like this. We'll print them out and then we'll tape them together. So let me just show you a few things about this program and then you'll get started. Okay. So what's great about this is you literally just drag what you want to add into your poster. So anything I want to add, I can take and drag it. I can throw in a table. And if I want to put a video in, I can, which doesn't really make sense for our project. So now, anything we need to do is going to be over on this side. Uh-oh. Shoot. Uh-oh.